Hi, this is Apple Watch Dave, and on today's video we're talking about cases on the Apple Watch. I get quite a lot of questions about this, so I thought I'd put a bit of a video together really to see my own personal experience. But then what I did was I threw it out there on my socials and actually on Threads, which I'm also on. Quite a number of people got involved with a bit of a vote, and there was quite a few interesting comments as well from people, which I've kind of going to bring in and talk about in the video. So I'll start with my experience and then we'll go on to some of your experiences as well. If you're interested, obviously this is Apple Watch Dave on YouTube. It's the same handle on Instagram and on Threads, and there's various different bits of content on there. I'm also getting some questions about what kind of band I've got. So today it's the Nike, here we go, the Nike new Sport Loop with the little run tab on it there, which you can see at the back there. Looking pretty smart, isn't it? Okay, so my own personal experiences with cases is that I don't really use them. Now, when I got my Series 6, it had cellular for the first time. We were going away to a place called Centre Park, which is kind of like a UK sort of holiday village in a wood, but it has a water park. And I thought, right, what I'll do is get myself a case for this, and then I can take it in the pool, got the cellular, so if people want to contact us, going in a bit of a group, it'd be ideal, all right? But it wasn't. Because what I hadn't bargained on was, although the case was very good, it wasn't too intrusive, it looked good around it, was when water got between the case and the watch, it just didn't work. Okay, because obviously the water was touching the screen, you couldn't use it as a touch screen. It was a bit of a nightmare. So I put it on because I thought I might bang it on like the water slides or something, but that didn't really happen, okay, at all. I didn't bang it and it couldn't work. So just take the case off in the end. I was made the watch unusable. So if you do get a case, be wary of that situation. If you're going to go swimming with it, or anything where it's going to get wet, may well be a problem. Secondly, my old Ultra 1, I actually came off my push bike, okay, off my cycle, if you're around the world, and landed pretty heavy. And the top lip here got quite a scratch. It was the silver Ultra, got quite a scratch there, but the actual screen was not damaged at all. So I wonder if this is a bit of a different question if you've got a series watch, particularly one of those aluminium ones, which are a bit cheaper, and they are more prone to getting damaged than maybe the Ultra. So let's say I might end up with a bit of a scratch on there. I sort of sanded it a little bit, want to, but you could definitely see it. However, when I Part-X'd it with Apple, I got the full value because the screen wasn't damaged at all. And I guess that's the style of the Ultra, with this kind of rather funky lip, isn't it? That makes it kind of safer from scratches. And although a number of people have said that the black one may chip and mark, but I've had no experience of that. I'm one of the people who are going to comment on it later on in the video, is also going to talk about that. So me personally, never really used a case. I get that asked a lot, okay? And the one time I tried to use it, it was a shocker. It didn't work in the pool. And yeah, so I'm just very, very careful with my watch. And just be careful where you put it on. My Apple Watch Zero, remember that? I actually hadn't had it very long, and I put my hand into my rucksack. And it got caught on a zip or something. There was a little feather scratch on it there. So that's my tip. If you're going to wear an Apple Watch, just be wary of it. And if you're going to put your hand into like a bag or something, use your other hand, all right? But it isn't just me, as I say. So what I did was I put this up on Threads, okay? And let's have a look and see. So this is the vote, okay? So I said, right, have you ever used a case on your Apple Watch? 130 odd people voted, which was nice to see. Look at that. That man's getting a bit of a check on here because it's so close to the camera. 62% never used it. 16% once or twice. And actually less than a quarter have used a case kind of regularly. So actually my experience is that seems to be mirrored by yours out there. Now let's have a little look, because I've got a few comments that I want to just discuss with you. So let's have a look. So here we have, first of all, this one here from Leah. She says, I only put it on when I'm do sports or anything with a higher risk of damaging my watch. Otherwise, I always have the case off. And that seems to make a lot of sense. My own personal use case, running, going to the gym, especially with the Ultra, I just don't feel there's a need for a case. But I can imagine if you're playing some maybe more contact sports or something like that, maybe that would be a good option. And again, I think if I did do that, I may well have a case for my Ultra, and I would just put it on when I played sports if I was in that kind of world. So that seems a really good comment, Leah. Thanks for that. Let's have a look at what else we've got then. So here we go. Yeah, and here's a similar one. Look, so different vibe, doing house chores that might, there we go, house chores. That might get scratched because I need it on my wrist. Otherwise, I don't bother. I prefer the cover look. Okay, so somebody who has a case and a cover. There we go. Yeah, Pinko is it? I don't know. Anyway, case and a cover, but prefers the look of it. But again, using it when you feel like you might damage it or ding it or something like that. By the way, this is the always on display at the moment. Look how bright that is, okay? Right, anyway, yeah, so I think that makes sense. So a couple of people saying that. Is that you? Let me know in the comments. Do you just use it as and when you feel the need for it? It might get damaged. Then we've got, what's this here? Either the Queen or Nessie, we don't know. I use both. The case on the screen didn't work well for me due to the touch sensitivity when it gets wet. Same as me then. So the problem of having a case cover doesn't really work. I started using bumper cases that took away from the beauty of the watch, in my opinion. Most bumpers change a fading colour. So again, yeah, that's it. You're losing the aesthetic of the watch, aren't you, by putting a case on it? And is that just too big a price to pay? Maybe. On our phones, I never go caseless. I can't afford it. But on my watch, I do. So yeah, that's it. I should probably not gone to the gym yesterday because I was getting a bit of a shake on here with these close-up shots. I do apologise for that. But here's somebody who's actually had a go. Right, so this is Matt, and he says he did have a screen protector and the colour was easier and cheaper, customised watch. I also have metal. So he's actually customised his Apple Watch Ultra with a case here. Now, there's a number of firms I've seen do these kind of cases. Have you got any experience of that? It looks pretty cool on there, actually, I'll be honest with you. It maybe won't be for me, but it does look good. So is that something that you've used? Have you used a case like that on your Ultra or on your series? Let me know. And in the bottom, and what's this last one we've got? It looked too techy. I think that's a really interesting point here from Jose. My Black Ultra looked too techy instead of premium, taking the multiple dings, and the colour is not worn off without it. That's pleasing for me, isn't it? So I mentioned at the beginning that actually I've got a Black Ultra. People said when I got it, well, it might mark, it might lose its crispness. People also said that about the Jet Black Series 10, although I was very careful with that and I never had a problem with it, okay? So let me know in the comments, do you agree with the majority of people here who voted, who said, look, never used it? Look, 62%. Are you one of those? Have you used it once or twice, or have you never used a case? Or do you actually use a case all the time? It's not been for me. Can you recommend any cases? Let me know in the comments, all right? I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.